Now, I don't know what was up in the air yesterday, but apparently everyone just wanted to fight. First, we had the all-in brawl in the Collingwood and Gold Coast Suns game after Ben Long's hit on Brayden Maynard sparked it all. And then a Walsh hit on Jasper Algard gave away a free kick that started a quarter-time brawl in the Richmond and Carlton game. We had it all yesterday. We had the Hawks losing their first game in 12 games at Utah Stadium. We had Jerry West Giants defeating the Mystique, and are the Brisbane Lions back? So much to cover in this episode as we review the round so far. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Up the Guts podcast. Joining as always is your host, Trent Yelton. Some of you might know me as Tricky. And yes, this is the review of the round so far, round 17. Currently, we're recording this at Sunday at 2:17 p.m. So just under an hour until Essendon and St Kilda will kick off at Marvel Stadium. But we've had some cracking games so far and some upset results. Really been a hard week for tipping. But if you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn notification bell on so you notify whenever we upload. If you're listening to this via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, please make sure you hit that follow button and turn notification bell on so you notify whenever we upload. Without further ado, let's get into the first game. That was Thursday night at GMHBA Stadium, and the Brisbane Lions are officially back. We can write that in, cement that in place. They are officially back after defeating Geelong on their home deck by 22 points Thursday night. 14-17, 101 defeated by 19-9, 123. Dangerfield tried all the best he could for the Cats and shows he could potentially go around another year. He kicked 5 to go along with his 17 disposals. Shannon Neal kicked 3, while Martin and Dempsey kicked 2 apiece. Lohman lit it up in G-Town, kicking 5. Morris and Bailey kicked 3 each. McKenna and Cameron also kicked the 2 each. Bailey Smith, another one, and Holmes through the middle, all tried their hardest. Bailey Smith, 9 tackles, 31 disposals, 9 tackles, 9 inside 50s, 2 goal assists, 9 score runs and 7 clearances. Maxie Holmes had 30, 11 inside 50s, 8 clearances, 7 score runs and 851 metres gain. Stewart also does what he does down at halfback, trying his best. 25 disposals, 9 sets, and 631 metres gain. Will Ashcroft continues his form, 32 disposals, 7 score involvement, 6 clearances, and 651 metres gain. While Neil managed to rack up 28, even though he went off for 15 minutes to get a HIA test, still managed to get 28 disposals and 6 clearances. Imagine if he was on, it could have potentially racked up 35-40, really. Wilmot, you already know my thoughts on Wilmot. I'm got big raps on Darcy Wilmot. He had the 26 disposals at 81% efficiency, 11 intercepts, 9 rebound 50s, and 593 metres gained. But this game was potentially already over at quarter time when the Lions came in and absolutely stunned the Cats, just kicking goal after goal when they smacked in 8 goals in a row in the first quarter to the Cats' 1. So but they kicked 8 in a row, and the Cats' goal only came right at the end by Paddy Dangerfield, I believe it was, who kicked that. Might have been, I think it was Paddy Dangerfield who kicked it right near the end of the quarter. But the Lions were all over them, which was where it was through the midfield. Their run-off halfback, Will Ashcroft's such a big threat. Logan Morris is such a good player. And when Kyle Lohman, those type of forwards are up, if Kyle Lohman doesn't get you, Charlie Cameron will get you. They've got so much weapons, and people were they were writing them off, really. And I was one of them questioning whether they'll be right to keep going. But they just know how to perform and get right in the right time of the year. So Brisbane Lions just way too good for the Cats in the end. Big questions for the Cats now, because that would be, I believe, would that be 2 in a row today? Round 16. Let's have a look. They were off the bye. Yes, that's 2 in a row they've lost in close games, so top teams. So Fremantle by 9 points in round 15, and then now Brisbane Lions by 22 points, but at their home deck. So questions, Cats will still be there and amongst it, but can they go all the way with a Jeremy Cameron who's clearly struggling with his arm? I'm not too sure about that. But let's go ahead to Friday night, another doubleheader. We know we hate our doubleheaders here, but it's exactly what it was. Sydney and the Bulldogs of the SCG, and whoever wrote off Charlie Curnow saying he wasn't performing, he's just shutting you up as he kicked 6 and jumped to the lead of the Coleman medal race. The Sydney Swans winning by 35 points, 13-12-90, defeated 7-13-55. We mentioned Curnow kicked 6. McLean was also really good after coming in for Amadi, kicking 3. Jones tried his hardest, kicking 2, as did Croft, kick 2. But Aaron Norton, there's got to be some big questions around Aaron Norton as without Sam Darcy there, he just hasn't been performing whatsoever. It's like if he's not doesn't have his 1-2 man to do it, Jordan Cross not ready to do that, and don't expect him. Norton should be the man without Darcy being there, and he's just not able to do it. Goulden had 27 and 70 inside 50s for the Suns. Heaney was electric, 27, a goal, 8 clearances and 6 tackles. Sheldrick had 26 and 9 clearances. Mills and Blakey off the half back line both had 26. Mills went at 96% efficiency, going with 9 marks. Blakey, 579 metres gain, and Matt Roberts off that wing at 25, going at 85% efficiency. There's not much more Ballydale could have done to drive it inside the 450 for the Bulldogs, but they just were not helping him whatsoever. He had 32 to go along with a goal, 12 intercepts, 10 rebound 50s, 8 marks, and 896 metres gain, while Richards had 29 to go along with 8 clearances and 6 tackles. But another one of the big questions is for Bevo. Why in the hell was Tim English playing at centre half back and potentially full back at times when Brodie Grundy's playing in the ruck and he's getting 60 hit-outs? So I just want to pull up his stats, see what he finished with. I'm pretty sure he finished with 60 hit-outs on the dot, if we just pull it up here. Yeah, so 60 hit-outs on the dot, 17 disposals, 5 tackles, and 6 clearances. And a lot of the time, it was Rory Lobb going up in the ruck against Brodie Grundy, and Tim English was playing down back. So the question is, what is wrong with Tim English? Why are they just playing him down back? I just want to compare the centre bounce attendees. So centre bounce attendees, ruck contest. Rory Lobb competing 74 ruck contests for 21 hit-outs. Tim English, let's have a look here. Tim English only competing 37 for 8 hit-outs. That's crazy. That is so, there's got to be something going on there if you are backing Rory Lobb to be a man when it should be English. These new rules should be suiting English to a T. But you're backing Rory Lobb and then you're not even putting English forward. You're putting him behind the ball. I know he's really good when he pushes back as a ruckman, as that extra man to floating and take intercepting marks. But he's not. If you're not playing him there, I think you potentially have to play him forward. But bottom line is he should just be playing ruck. So I don't know what the hell is going on down there with Bevo. What's his thoughts are there? The Swans dominated inside 50s as well, 61-41. The Dogs only managed 4 marks inside 450. So there's another one. You've got a guy who you rate as a marker around the ground in Tim English. You're not playing him in ruck. You're playing him down back, and you can't even hold any marks in your forward 50. Big questions. Matt Kennedy's been offered a 1-match suspension for his hit on Caden Cleary, so they will be out Matt Kennedy next week. But we mentioned it was a double header, so we head over straight after that. I think it was at 8:10 start at Optus Stadium, the Eagles versus the Crows. And hats off to the Eagles. They fought back and only went down by 25 points. I reckon they can hold their hat off high there. Harley Reid could have had it almost a kicking 4 behinds to go on 23 disposals and 6 clearances, 18 contested. But the end scores 11-8-74. The Eagles defeated by the Crows, 15-9-99. Waterman and Shanahan both kicked 3 for the Eagles. Well, Fogarty kicked 4, making it 9 in 2 weeks. And Keys kicked 3 and Saligo also kicked the 2. Duggan also had 24 for the Eagles, 556 metres gain. Rankin was huge, 27, a goal, 7 clearances. Jordan Dawson was probably best on ground, 27 disposals, a goal, 9 inside 50s, 8 tackles, 7 marks, 6 clearances, and 764 metres gain. And Laird off the half-back line had 25, going at 92% efficiency, 9 intercepts, and 8 marks. There's not much really to touch on this game other than the Eagles did fight hard, but it's such a clear what an impact can have when a informed Rankin is in the midfield for the Crows. Just provides something different for them. And Jordan Dawson's in a rare patch of form that he'd be probably a top 5 player. No, let me reword that. He's a top 5 player, maybe even top 3 player in the competition right now, going on based on his form at the moment. The Eagles did have a debutant though, Oliver Franco. He's a mid-season pickup for them and looked really good. 18 disposals on debut. So I just want to pull up his full stats if we have a look here. Oliver Franco, so 18 disposals. What is he? He's a midfielder. So 18 disposals, laid 11 of them contested, laid the 9 tackles, and also had 4 clearances. That's a solid debut for him. He's 20 years old, so picked up in the mid-season draft. So that's another one the Eagles have found. Hopefully they can build around that. But now let's get into the Saturday games. All right, Saturday games. We kick it off with Hawthorn v Melbourne at UTAS Stadium. And what the hell happened here? I was out at Belgrave calling the local footy. But we were looking at the scores going, what the hell? At halftime, the scores were 86-9 in favour of the Demons. The Hawks had won 12 in a row at Utah Stadium. Not anymore. While they did go on and kick 12 goals in a row, and as a Melbourne supporter, I had a message saying he wasn't very happy with how that happened. But I can understand that. They kind of just laid on their sword when they should have been dominated and used this for a percentage. So that was interesting. Like, did Hawks just decide to not show up in the first half, then show up in the second half? Or did Melbourne lay the sword? I didn't exactly watch the game, just watch through the highlights. 14-6-90 in the end. The Hawks defeated by 19-11, 125, 35 points. Chol kicked 5 in that run where they kicked 12 goals in a row. Ginnivan and Ward kicked 2. Van Rooyen had an absolute day out. He kicked 5, but he also had 24 disposals, 8 marks, 5 hitouts, and 4 clearances. What a day it was for the big Roo. Fritsch also kicked 5. Petty, Sharp, and Latrell Pickett all kicked 2 each. Newcomb had 26 and 6 clearances in the middle. Hardwick down back had 25 at 92% efficiency, 9 marks and 9 intercepts. And Josh Ward, you could argue, was probably one of their better players. 25, 2 goals, 2 goal assists, and 5 clearances. Sparrow was huge for the Demons in the middle. Just that grunt in and under. 26 disposals, 8 clearances, 7 tackles, 3 goal assists, and 7 score-ons. While Pickett had it on a string in the first half, did slow down in the second half, but still managed 25, a goal, 7 clearances, and 611 metres gain. As we mentioned, this does break the 12-game winning streak at Utah's. And do we give them a mulligan for this one, saying that we just let this one go through to the keeper that first half, because then they did come in the second half, keep that 12 goals in a row? Or is there concerns about Hawthorn? I'm happy to give them the mulligan, I'm not going to lie. Jack Gunston back, only kicked the 1 goal, but I think that was just something you won't see all the time coming through. So I'm happy to give them the mulligan, but is there something more to look at there for Hawks? And are Melbourne just that good? Like, it's an interesting one to weigh up and talk about. But let's go ahead and have a look at the streak that was finally broken of the Fremantle. They'd won 14 games in a row. They headed out to Manuka Oval in Canberra, and the Giants just said, nah, you're not coming to our second home ground and continue your winning streak. We're going to beat you by 21 points, and Jakey, the package stringer, is going to lay down and boot 7. Toby Green's going to have 26 and 3. Absolutely enormous from the Giants. 16-13, 109. Defeated 13-10, 88. Stringer, as we mentioned, kicked the 7. Green kicked 3. Cadman kicked 2. As for the Dockers, Tracy kicked 3, and Voss and Jackson kicked 2. Clayton Oliver was a bull, as he has been all season, all his career, really. 32 disposals, 17 contested, and 10 clearances. Callahan had 30 and 5 clearances. Ash had 28 disposals at 82% efficiency and 629 metres gain. Connor Iden had 26, going at 85% efficiency, 12 marks, 9 intercepts. Such an underrated player, in my opinion, Connor Iden. And Green, we mentioned, 26 disposals, 3 goals, 12 score involvements, 7 inside 50s, 5 clearances, and 680 metres gain. Sarong battled hard for the Dockers, 31 disposals, 8 score involvements, 8 inside 50s, 6 clearances, 6 tackles, and 554 metres gain. While Warner off the half-back line had 29, going at 90% efficiency, 10 marks, 9 intercepts, 8 rebound 50s, and 691 metres gain. But at the end of the day, the Giants just bullied the Dockers around the ball, winning the clearances 42-28. But I'm a big believer that you need to lose a game eventually. You can't go in undefeated into a final series. You need to lose one eventually, so you can assess it properly, and or it's just a fate. I've never believer of a team going in undefeated. While they haven't been undefeated, they on this winning streak. You need to lose one before we get to finals, so it doesn't come as a shock if it does come into finals, if that makes sense. I've always been a big believer of that, whether it's in professional sport, whether it's in local sport. I've always been a big believer of that. Let me know in the comments if you are too, but someone who just can't get their body right, and the Dockers, like I said, they're going to be hopeful that he's okay, is Hayden Young. Went off with a groin injury in the second quarter. It's crazy to see that he still can't get his body right. Be interested to see even if a Melbourne team tries to get him and sell him we've got the resources that I have down here to try and get his body right, because does he just need a new home? Is that what it is? Victorian boy, a Melbourne boy, come home. It's just it out there, but what clubs would want to do it to. I think a lot of clubs would if they know they can get his body right, because when he is, he's a match changer, a game changer, and a match winner, whether it's through the middle, up forward, half back, wherever you want, you can block him in there. Beautiful user of the footy. Whitfield also suffered a concussion, so Whitfield also suffered a concussion, so that's why half-back they're going down there. Thank the Lord they have Lockie Ash, though, because Lockie Ash is just like another clone, a younger Whitfield. I think Whitfield's probably the better player, but they're similar with, like, their stats. What I mean, their stats are usually similar at the end of the day. They both have usually at least 20, 27, 28. They go at 80% efficiency. They get plenty of meters gained, plenty of intercepts. So lucky they have a Lockie Ash there to help him with that one. But yeah, they'll have to miss Lockie Whitfield with concussion, unfortunately, with the HIA. But now let's go ahead and talk about, as I flung away because I got excited, but I just realized I'm going away from the mic, so I hope you got it there. The fire starter game at People First. Was that football or was that just an all-in street fight? Because boy, oh we did, at halftime, did Brayden Maynard just storm and go at it, and everyone jumped into that one at halftime when he seed for Ben Long. Don't get this wrong, Ben Long, I know I'm a Collingwood supporter, and I'm going to wear this one on my sleeve, but Ben Long, that was a cheap shot. And Ben Long, nothing against Ben Long, but he's not a first-time offender of this. He's done this quite before, loves a gut punch, loves a little shot when they're not ready. But all in all, it was a great game as well. The Pies coming away with a 6-point victory over at People First. They actually do have a good record at People First, Collingwood. And when they do, lately they've gone over and played some absolute thrillers against the Suns, and this was no different. 15-14, 104. The Pies defeated 15-8, 98. Nearly the goal kicking cost the Pies, but they were just able to hang on. Humphrey was really good for the Suns, kicking 3, as did King and Long. Ben Long kicked the 2. The 2 tolls for the Pies. Membry, McStay kicked 3 each. Anderson and Angry Anderson, thank you, was back in the side. Scott Penderbury was withdrawn. He kicked the 2 down there as well. As for I've just scrolled up a little bit too far. As for disposals, the Suns did plenty of the ball. I want to go ahead and have a look at their disposals. I want to see if they actually won disposals, because that's something the Suns always do. Their halfbacks get a lot of the footy. Their midfields get all the footy. So, yeah, they actually won disposals by, if I quickly do my maths here, 55. So, you won by 55, but let's have a look at inside 50s. So, they won disposals by 55, lost inside 50s 56 to 53, lost clearances 43 to 40. So, that's probably where it comes down to in the end. But Noble, again, 33 at 88% efficiency, 13 marks, 7 intercepts, 7 rebound 50s, and 563 meters game. Zeke the Freak Ewan had 32 to go on the goal, 16 marks, and 553 meters gained. His brother, Bodie Ewan, had 28, 82% efficiency, and 8 intercepts. Petrarca was really good through the middle, 28, 19 contested, a goal, 3 goal assists, 8 score bombs, and 7 clearances, while Miller had 28 to lay 10 tackles. Sorry. Nick Dacos with another best on ground performance to add to the collection for this season. He's coming half of that Brownlow, I think, now. He's just starting to string together a couple of best on grounds and get away from the pack, in my opinion, now. We saw what the AFL.com had predicted. I don't think he was that far ahead, but he's got a couple of best on grounds now. So if he was leading, he's starting to run away. Still plenty of time to catch him. I think it's not over yet whatsoever. But best on ground performances are going to really help him here in wins. 31 disposals, went at 81% efficiency, kicked a really good goal as well. 2 goal assists, 12 score enrollments, 8 clearances, and laid the 5 tackles. Or his brother was cool, calm, and collected off halfback as well. Josh Dacos got 25 disposals, 80% efficiency, and 7 score enrollments. But yeah, the biggest talking point, obviously, out of this game is going to be the brawl that happened at halftime, and the hit that Ben Long do it. We don't want to see that type of hit in the game. Brayden Maynard wasn't ready. We're getting a little push and shove by Humphrey, but then Ben Long comes on the side. But then the big question is when Brayden Maynard kind of moved the umpire out of the way, but Tuke Miller did the same thing as well. Now, funnily enough, this will be Gold Coast the Suns' 6th time they've had umpire contact, and it will be Collingwood's 5th time this season they've had umpires contact. Now, we all thought that Brayden Brayden Maynard was looking at least 4 weeks for the way he did it. But then we slowed down the footage. I think and the reason why it was that big too was because his intention was to go over and fight. He saw red. You could read his lips when he said to Ben Long, because he knew halftime's not far, you are fucked, is what he was saying. You're fucked. As soon as that siren, when he went straight over there. But I don't think we saw in the full motion that Took Miller had played a bit of a part in moving him out the way too. So if Brayden Maynard goes, he has to go. I'm thinking it's a tough one because I think it should be like a week or two. Oh, no, it should be weeks. But by what we're saying and the fact that they all went in there wanting to fight. But the fine is really confusing me because it was all confusing. Everyone was in it, so there's going to be plenty of fines. But they're saying that Took Miller and Brayden Maynard are supposed to get a fine. So what is it with umpire contact? I'm just as confused as the next person when that tweet came through by Xander Maguire today that they would both be expecting a fine. And then Tom Morris backed it up by saying it's Gold Coast Suns' 6th umpire contact and Collingwood's 5th. So, are we taking this seriously? I get it. They just moved him out of the way, but they shouldn't have been touching the umpire. Let's be real. I loved the biff. I loved it. I loved Brayden Maynard standing on business and flying the flag and all the Collingwood players and Gold Coast Suns players getting in and backing up their teammates. Absolutely loved it, but they shouldn't have moved it. But then I've seen Adam Coody's also come out and said, well, the umpire shouldn't have been standing there in the middle of it all. It is a tricky one, but Gold Coast Suns, we need to start questioning. Actually, no, not we need to start. We've been questioning them for a while now, but that's 7 in a row that they've lost. With the list that they have, they should not be losing 7 games in a row and losing home games. Their home, it used to be you travel to Gold Coast, you play at People First, you lose. That was pretty much it. Now you go to People First and you go, oh, we're in for a chance here because we know they won't run 2 ways. They only run 1 way, and that's towards goal. So if we can outwork them, we'll get them. If we can beat them around the ball, we'll get them. Such an interesting... Damien Hardwick, oh my God. Dimmer, there has to be some questions coming of Dimmer because what different is he doing to what Stuart Dew was doing now? Yes, he took them to their first finals win last year. What the hell have they done this year? Nothing. That's what they've done. There has to be some questions coming their way. Then we head out to Saturday night, which had another fight at quarter time, which was another good one to see. The biff is back. But Carlton may get 7 in a row. Only just. 10-12-72, defeated by 10-14-74. Bolter, they welcome back Mansell in fine fashions, and Lafau, Campbell all kicked 2. As for the Blues, Kemp and Hewitt kicked 2 each. Taranto had 25, 8 clearances, 8 score bombs, and 5 tackles. Jacka Smith for the Blues had 29, 9 score bombers. Hewitt was the best player on the ground, 26 disposals, 2 goals and 9 tackles. Cripps had 25, 15 contested, a goal and 6 clearances. But the Tigers gave the Blues a scare. Something about Richmond and Carlton, it was always going to be close games whenever they play each other. It's like they're just their rivalry. It just makes it, wherever each team are on the ladder, it's going to be a close game. Richmond got them earlier in the season. But now Carlton got one back. Carlton do make it 7 in a row, but where are they sitting on the ladder? So they are currently sitting 10th on the ladder. They can well and truly make the 8, but they're going to be in that wild card weekend at the moment as we look at it. I don't think they make it into the top 6. They'd have to win the next 3 pretty much. And Melbourne not win 1 because their percentage is well below Melbourne. So that's all it's going to be interesting. I pencil Carlton, they make wildcard weekend. They'd have to do a lot to choke from here, but I don't think they make top 6, but they could be dangerous. But that's all the games of footy that has happened so far in round 17. Obviously, we have got coming up in just a half an hour from the time I'm recording at the moment, we have got Essendon and St Kilda at Marvel. Then we'll follow it off at 4:40 p.m. at Adelaide Oval, Port Adelaide and North. So some games to end the round. But that's going to wrap it up the round so far. Thank you guys for listening and watching along. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure you leave a like and comment on the video. Hit that subscribe button and turn notification bell on to notify whenever we upload. Excuse me. If you're listening to this via Spotify or podcast, please make sure you leave a like and comment on this episode. Hit that follow button. Turn notification bell on to notify whenever we upload. Share this off to a mate. And please, guys, remember to leave a 5-star rating on the show, as it does help share this, get the show out there to newer listeners. If you want to see all the clips from the show, local footy highlights, on me just talk absolute dribble about footy, make sure you're following us at @UpTheGuts_ on Instagram and TikTok. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search Up The Guts, and we'll be in the top one in the search bar there. Thank you guys for listening and watching along. And until next time, I'll see you guys then.